Good evening and welcome to another night of Wayne County High School War Eagle football. Coach Mangum brings his War Eagle Charges to Brookhaven tonight. 7-2 on the year and district perfect. Hoping tonight to wrap up a district championship and secure a first round home game in the playoffs. But as we know, in Brookhaven anything goes. Will it be a haven in Brookhaven tonight, or will it be another break to the Heartbreak Hotel, so to speak? So, Paul, you just never know. It's a crazy place over here.
It is. I mean, we're close to Halloween. Full moon is coming Tuesday. We're right next door to a cemetery. Crazy stuff happens. But, you know, Kenny and I were talking with offensive coordinator Bud Blackledge before they came out to warm up, and he made a very good point that this is a game that could really gauge how this team will do in the playoffs. And it really is. You're going into a hostile environment, a place where you've had medium success, you know, and Bud said, you know, we don't need to come out and just run away with the game and hang 50, but we got to look good, and it could be a good litmus test. And, of course, the nice thing would be to have it like it was last week against South Jones. Get up early, take control of the game, and then let some of the young pups put their prints on this field.
Kenny, you know, as Paul and I, you've seen a lot of stuff going on over here, but what are the War Eagles looking like tonight when they come here? Of course, you know, they're going to do what they want to do. And you mentioned last week that balanced attack. Hopefully we can see some more of that, doing what we want to when we want to do it.
Well, and that's going to be the key to tonight's ball game. I mean, with a team like Brookhaven, you've got a football team. They're 4-4, 3-2 in the district, and they've had some success. I mean, they've lost to Petal like we have, but when you look at them top to bottom, they're a typical Brookhaven team. A lot of good athletes. We'll see as good athletes here as we've seen all year. You know, offense and defense. They do a lot of things that make you have to know where the football is. It's going to be, in a way, similar to what South Jones did last week with their old triple option, but they'll have two backs in the backfield a lot of times, and they're going to have a lot of different things they can do with the football. Quarterback's a pretty good athlete, can run the ball. Either one of those running backs can run it, and when you see them run a screen, sometimes they'll throw a screen, and this screen pass won't be back behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be downfield. I mean, it'll be 4 or 5 or 6 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage, and so they do some things differently. And so for our kids, you know, tonight, offensively, we just got to get on the blocks and stay on them. Defensively, we just got to make sure we find the football and go to it.
You mentioned the young pups. A lot of young pups play. We may be seeing some young pups early tonight, not as a matter of what the score is, but just as the fact that these young pups are good enough to go.
They really are. I mean, whenever the freshmen came in against South Jones, you saw players like Tyree Evans and Benito Jones just blowing things up. I mean, just dominating. And those guys are. I mean, they're very competitive, and they're going to fight for playing time, and they may earn it here over the next couple of weeks. And it's also a good opportunity to A, give them experience, B, give your front line players a little bit of rest, so that way they're fresh. You got fresh legs going into the postseason.
Kenny, it's really, we noticed Paul's talked about the time of year, the Halloween, the cemetery, the little shop of horrors over here. Hey, it's getting cold tonight too. That wind's coming, I'm telling you. What people are going to be looking for coats for tonight's over. You know, this will be the first night their hands probably get cold.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that get cold tonight with this breeze. But to pick it up with something Paul said, one of the things I really like about this football team, and especially those younger guys, and when we were talking to Coach Blackledge a while ago, we mentioned it to him, is how scrappy this bunch is. And you look back at how far we've much progress. We said this over the last several weeks, and folks get tired of hearing it, but we have come a long way from that first ball game against Petal. And if you watch these playbacks and watch these kids, especially those younger guys, get in there, you see folks that are running and scrapping and digging and turning, trying to get extra yardage, never giving up. And that's something that's contagious. You see it in Greg Miller, and it works its way all the way down to those ninth graders. And when other kids are standing there and they're watching Greg and watching what he does, or they're watching Hayden or some of them, defense on the field, when they see that, or Gary Myers, then that makes their motor run too. So when they get on the field, they do the same thing. And we've got a football team right now that I think over the course of the next 3 years is going to make more than one trip to Jackson. And it's going to be because we've got kids that play hard, kids that are scrappy, and because we have a lot of depth, and we'll have more depth than we've had in a number of years.
And I know that you both guys preach this, and we've got an outstanding coaching staff to go with it. We really do.
But the kids are coachable.
Yeah.
And that I don't care how good your coaching staff is. If the kids aren't coachable, it doesn't matter.
Good point. Well, we're going to take a break, and we're going to have an interview with head man Todd Mangum after this word from our sponsors. We'll see you after the break.
If you're talking barbecue in Waynesboro, you're talking Huff and Puff Smokehouse Barbecue. Smoked, seasoned barbecue. That looks good. Let Huff and Puff cater your next event. From 20 to 620, we do it all. We can deliver, we can serve. Our delicious barbecue is guaranteed to make any event a hit. Take out or dine in, it's all good at Huff and Puff Smokehouse. For faster service, call ahead.
Okay, here we are with head coach, Coach Todd Mangum. Coach Mangum, we're at Brookhaven, and you've talked about South Mississippi and high school football in the state of Mississippi, and I tell you what, there's a lot of stories that's been told over here in this stadium, and you've been a big part of a lot of them for Wayne County through the years.
Oh, yeah, it's a tough place to play. They got great support here, great fan support. Their crowd will be into the game tonight. You know, they got a good football team who's fighting for a playoff spot, so they got a lot to play hard for, and we know we're going to get their best just like everybody else that we play. You know, we know we're going to get their best here tonight.
You know, you said along, you know, being one left now, your War Eagles sit at the top of the district, you know, with a perfect record, and can clinch the district championship and thereby a first round home playoff game tonight. What have you preached that to your kids? Have y'all talked about that?
Well, the biggest thing we've talked about is to come over here and let's just play our game. You know we got to win. You know, we really hadn't talked about winning one of the last two, or we talked about just winning the next game, and against a formidable opponent. You know, Brookhaven's only lost to Petal, who's atop their division in 6A. They've lost to Hazelhurst, who's atop their division in 3A. They've lost to Macomb. It only has one loss right now so far, and then a good West Jones team. So, you know, their 4 losses have come to 4 quality opponents. So, you know, and they've been right there in every game.
Okay. So what are you going to look for them to do? What are they going to bring to the field offensively tonight?
Offensively, they're going to they want to try to run the football, but they want to be a good mix, kind of like we do. They want to, you know, be 50-50 run pass, and it's 50-50 when they want to. They're going to try to hit the big play every now and then to the receivers, just try to, you know, throw it deep with field position allows. They'll be, a sound running team. In the past, we've seen a lot of option out of their offense, but here the last couple weeks, they've been more just, you know, power football and stuff. So, and then a lot of play action pass. So offensively, we look to see a good balance of run pass.
When you look at their defense, when they come against your offense, what are they going to bring to the table defensively?
Their front does an outstanding job of playing up and down the line of scrimmage. You know, they got a Southern Miss commit that plays their right defensive end, outstanding player. But they do a good job of just playing up and down the line of scrimmage and not giving you a lot of seams. It poses problems. It's always easy when those folks just run upfield and create, you know, running lanes by being out of position. But these guys don't. So, their front is the first thing that really sticks out, in our mind about, you know, how they kind of control the line of scrimmage.
Okay. Well, Coach, as always, we're grateful for you taking your time pregame to talk to us. We'll look forward to seeing you when it's over. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to be back with the kickoff between the Panthers of Brookhaven and your Wayne County High School War Eagles. See you after the break.
If you're talking barbecue in Waynesboro, you're talking Huff and Puff Smokehouse Barbecue. Smoked, seasoned barbecue. That looks good. Let Huff and Puff cater your next event. From 20 to 620, we do it all. We can deliver, we can serve. Our delicious barbecue is guaranteed to make any event a hit. Take out or dine in, it's all good at Huff and Puff Smokehouse. For faster service, call ahead.
Okay, Brookhaven Friday night. Woo-wee! What about that one, Coach?
It's like it is. Anytime you come to Brookhaven, you're going to get their best and you're going to get a good football game, and that's what it was tonight.
It was just a. We think we've had some crazy quarters and some crazy halves, and this thing was wild all the way through. Your defense really did a good job. Looks like to me they did, but now what do you? What's your evaluation of that?
Well, I thought we did. I thought late in the game, we need to be a little bit more aggressive late in the game when somebody's trying to press us down the field. But we held them out when we had to, and so I'm proud of their efforts. I really am.
We had some. Seems like our offense ran in streaks tonight. Seemed like when we were hitting on all 8 cylinders, and we weren't. We just couldn't get anything working.
Yeah, we just had a hard time getting in kind of rhythm and everything. We part of that's Brookhaven's defense. Now they got a defensive end there, 85. It's a Division I player and everything, and then they've got some good players on defense. And felt like we were just a little up and down. We're kind of roller coaster on offense, but we got the ball in the end zone when we had to. Down here in the fourth quarter, the beginning of the fourth quarter, we had it 4th down there, and we didn't kick the field goal because the angle was so bad. I mean, the ball was all the way on the hash over here, and it was just a bad angle for our kicker, and very similar to where they were on their field goal attempt. We stick that in down there. It's not even close, but we didn't, and everybody got their money's worth tonight that came to the game.
Well, sometimes of course, a win is a win, and that's what matters. That seals you a district championship, seals you the first round home game. Sometimes win might not be as pretty as a lot of people say. Well, that's not a pretty win, but sometimes great teams, championship caliber teams, have to win ugly. I mean, it just happens sometimes.
Well, it's like I told the players at the end of the game. We need a game like that because we had to overcome so much adversity. Yeah. We came tonight with players that were playing hurt. We had players, DeJarvis Chambers didn't play a snap tonight. He's hurt, and we're trying to get him well. So we had a strong safety that was playing with a bad shoulder all night. So we had players that really showed a lot of suck up tonight and played hard and everything. But you need games like that, and fortunately tonight we were able to win one of those games.
Yes, indeed, we were able to win one, and we came over here to Brookhaven and got the big win. So we know that it's a long way home. We appreciate you taking time. We're going to cut you loose and let you go. We're going to congratulate you. We're going to take a break, and for Coach Mangum, I'm Marshall Wood. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be back with Kenny and Paul to wrap this thing up. So we'll see you after this word from our sponsors.
If you're talking barbecue in Waynesboro, you're talking Huff and Puff Smokehouse Barbecue. Smoked, seasoned barbecue. That looks good. Let Huff and Puff cater your next event. From 20 to 620, we do it all. We can deliver, we can serve. Our delicious barbecue is guaranteed to make any event a hit. Take out or dine in, it's all good at Huff and Puff Smokehouse. For faster service, call ahead.
Okay, here we are, and Paul, it was everything that we hoped it wouldn't be, but it was what we hoped it would be in the end, a victory.
Yeah, it was like Michael Jackson's Thriller, complete with plenty of ugly creatures along the way. 13 first downs for Wayne County, 35 rushes for 87 yards. Now, that includes the 34-yard bad snap where they lost 34 yards. 12 of 21 passing for 145. 4 fumbles, they lost 2. 6 penalties for 68 yards. 5 punts for a 25.6 yard average, so way below the average. 60 return yards, 4 of 12 on 3rd down, 1 of 2 on 4th down. 21 minutes, 32 seconds the time of possession. Greg Miller, 20 carries for 99 yards. Hodo, 12 of 21 passing. Jared Hill, 4 catches for 38 yards. Farikis Walker, 4 for 33. For Brookhaven, 16 first downs, 74 yards rushing, 128 passing on 9 of 24 with 2 interceptions, 9 penalties for 62 yards, 6 punts, 6 of 17 on 3rd downs, 26-28 the time of possession. Defensively, Keenan Fuqua, another great game. He had 18 tackles, 2 quarterback pressures, and a pass breakup just for good measure. Hayden Shelby, 13 tackles. Kentrell Mayfield, 9 tackles. Interceptions from Lonnie Bonner and Kadarius Pennell. So just a weird night.
And, sir, you?
I can only think of 2 quotes, and both of them are from Blazing Saddles. One is, Madeline Kahn saying, "Is it true what they say about that place?" And it's true, it's true. And Mel Brooks saying, "Harump." I didn't get a harump out of that guy. I tell you, it was a battle royale, as they say. I mean, it was one of those things where it was back and forth. We were just all the pieces all over the map offensively. We didn't do a good job tonight throughout the ball game, and I know coaching staff knows that. Our snaps. I mean, we got to fix that. I mean, that's 2 ball games out of 3, and that's something we got to fix. And it's not anything directed at a player as such, but it's just something that you got to execute. You got to get a good snap. And then, too, you can't say enough about us, how we played defensively. I thought we stood up. Now, down here, Brookhaven moved the ball down the field, pretty good clip. We came close to making some sacks. But, again, that's credit to Brookhaven's quarterback, because I thought that youngster was outstanding to get rid of the football tonight. We had him hemmed up several times. So, overall, I give us a C-. And you get down here, and they're on the 3-yard line, and they got a 2-yard line. They got a 20-yard field goal, and they had the same kind of bad angle as Coach Mangum said we'd had down here. So, the sports god smiled upon us. That goat we killed earlier in the week must have, for the Alabama game, there's some residual here. So, but, again, you get this behind you. You got Stone coming up, not quite as strong a football team, and hopefully give us a chance to get some folks healed up.
Well, one thing is this thing was so close to slipping away, and you watch the reaction of these players when they say, "We won." And, that does some things. You just got to believe that just kindles a little fire to let them know, man, we really dodged a bullet, and it sure feels good to win. Let's feel that again.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, and this is a great learning tool. They've had some blowouts here lately. They've had some games where in the second half they could kind of cruise. This is the kind of game that gets you ready for the playoffs, and Kenny gave him a C-. I would quote my oldest son and say D equals diploma, and they got their diploma in the district title tonight. So.
Anything else?
I thought that the goal line stand down here by Brookhaven was huge for them, and old Mo got a chance to turn. The block punt down here again was huge for them, and they had a lot of momentum on their side. And again, we gave up the points down here, but they only had a yard to go. But this down here, I thought was where the ball game turned, was down here on that stand, and we didn't get any points. So again, it goes back to we got some things we got to fix on offense. But hey, there is nothing broke that we can't fix pretty easy. And again, I'm like Paul, folks say it was an ugly win. No, sir. When you look in the record books, you do not see ugly losses or ugly wins. You see L's and W's. This is a win. And you can describe it any other way you want to, but it's a win. We're 8-2 now, and we got 1 ball game left.
Well, we said coming in here on the field tonight, was this going to be a haven in Brookhaven, or was it going to be the Heartbreak Hotel? Well, it wasn't much of a haven, though we did get out here with a win. And I guess if it was a Heartbreak Hotel for anybody, it was heartbreak for the Panthers of Brookhaven tonight. But that's just the way we wanted it. So no disrespect intended. It's always a great battle over here, great matchup, and that's why we come. We love it. So next week we go to Stone County. Wasn't a big contingent over here tonight. You missed a lot of fun. So I don't know if we'll have this much fun in Stone County next week. Let's hope not. But be there just in case. So for Paul and Kenny, I'm Marshall Wood, and we're going to say good night, and we'll see you next week for more Wayne County High School War Eagle football.